May I come in, sir? May I come in?
Please come.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mudita.
May I?
Have
Thank
your
you so
seat,
much.
please.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, you are appearing for the first time.
Yes, sir.
This is your first attempt,
Yes, sir.
and in the first attempt, you are appearing in the interview.
Yes, sir.
Why so late you took a decision?
Sir, writing civil services has always been on the back of my mind since college. However, one, I wanted some financial security before I appeared for an attempt. The original plan was to appear after 2 or 3 years of working. However, at BCG, I got the opportunity of working in the social impact space very closely with the governments, civil servants, foundations, etc. And that is what I felt that added value to me learning and then writing this exam, sir.
I am not satisfied with the word that first you will get us financial security and then writing the civil services. I am not satisfied with this answer.
Sir, I believe it's a personal choice on if you want to write it right after the college or you want to have certain mental stability, so that I just did not want to be dependent on my parents anymore to help me with my coaching fees or staying.
Your parents, they are already into business. What kind of business they are doing?
So they're simple real estate agents.
Estate. Okay. I'm not satisfied the income your parents are getting out of this real estate, because real estate they have amount in crores and crores. It is only how can I be satisfied with this kind of ITR?
So they are not into developing. The crores and multimillionaires are developers.
No. It is in the business, in the sale and purchase also.
So we do not believe in black money. So that's where the margins reduce.
Okay, then you are from Ludhiana. Which Doab it is in Ludhiana?
Sorry, sir?
Which Doab? Punjab is into Doabs. Ludhiana, which part of Doab this Ludhiana is situated?
Sorry, sir.
Malwa.
Oh, okay.
Doab, what is Doab? You know? Doab. Doab. 2 rivers. An area between 2 rivers is called Doab. Punjab, why it is called Punjab?
5 rivers.
5, not 5 rivers, 5 Doabs. There are 7 rivers. If for olden times, from Indus to Yamuna, so there are 7 rivers, and out of 7 rivers, there are 5 Doabs. Because this UP and other side Punjab, Pakistan. So in the olden times, this was the complete Punjab, Maha Punjab it was. Even Delhi was also part of Punjab at that time.
That's very interesting. So we were always told that it's because the 5 rivers Punch
five
is
rivers.
Punch.
Today there are 5 rivers.
Today there are 3 rivers, sir.
Today?
3 rivers.
Only 3.
Yes, sir.
Which one? Byas, Satluj and
Ravi, sir.
Ravi. But Ghaggar is also a river that is still in Punjab itself. And this Ludhiana is between Satluj and Ghaggar only. That's why it is. Okay, now just going ahead. Malwa region is in Punjab. Where is Malwa Plateau?
So the Malwa Plateau will be in the central India, sir. Central India.
That's what you have read it.
Yes, sir.
Just we want to have a little, we want to crave you now.
Okay.
Why we say that it is Malwa region and that is Malwa Plateau? Why do we say?
Sir, I'll have to read about this more, sir.
Okay, Plateau is, it is a raised
platform, raised land,
with the
area of
rocks.
land. Yes, sir.
And Malwa region is a plain and area between 2 rivers. So that is a fertile. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Now Ludhiana, what is the one district, one product for Ludhiana?
Sir, it's bakery products.
Bakery.
Yes, sir.
Why bakery?
Sir, Ludhiana as an area is actually known for its food as well, because Punjab generally is very rich in culture of food. So there are a lot of small and big medium bakeries
Ludhiana is highly polluted.
Yes, sir.
Still it is polluted or not now?
Yes, sir. It
Still it is
continues to
polluted.
be. It has the same pollution levels as Delhi, sir.
It's much more than Delhi.
Sir, it was the same ranking in
Okay.
the...
Now just let me know. We have crop residues burning in the entire Punjab. In Haryana it was there, but in Punjab it was too much. Why the government is not taking so much those concrete steps, especially the state governments, they need to take. Why they are not taking up? It is just losing the boats or something else is there.
Sir, contrary to the popular belief, this year stubble burning was down by 40% in Punjab as compared to the last year. And last year itself, it was down by 20 to 30%.
Okay.
So this shows that the government is taking certain dedicated steps. First is they have started promoting crop diversification through their Punjab crop diversification program because stubble is a problem of paddy residue.
Have you just read about something, carbon credits are being earned by Punjab farmers? Have you read something about it?
Sir, I'm aware about the carbon credits at a national level, but
specifically for Punjab?
I will read about
Whatever you are saying,
Yes, sir.
that there were less incidences of fires in the crops, it is only because of this diversion that Punjab farmers are earning carbon credits by diverting from rice to some other crops along with the tree cultivation.
Yes, sir.
Agroforestry, they are operating and they are getting carbon credit out of it. Okay. You are in BCG. What for this works for?
So BCG is a management consulting firm wherein we provide technical expertise to a range of clients across industries, including consumer goods, industrial goods, and me personally, I work more in the social impact space.
Social impacts.
Yes, sir.
Okay, mother. What impacts do you have observed, especially because of this government policies, especially in the health sector? What impacts has gone to the people? The government has started Ayushman Bharat or something like that. Is there an impact really on the social sector, or people are not at all taking help of this Ayushman Bharat scheme? And who are taking more?
So there have been 3 flagship healthcare initiatives which have been able to generate significant impact. One is the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, which is the 5 lakh cover, which recently has also been extended to senior citizens. So there is actually a higher usage given there is increasing empanelment of both public and private sector hospitals under this scheme. So second is the PM Jan Aushadhi Yojana, which promotes generic medicine. According to a recent PIB report, there has been almost a 3,000 crore savings in terms of spending over the last, since the time of implementation of the scheme till now. And so third is the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, which though is in nascent stages, it is actually trying to create a seamless information and data sharing through Aadhaar cards between private sector and the public sector so that there can be holistic patient service care.
Okay. Water solution, you have medals or something like that.
Yes, sir.
How will you solve this problem of Delhi water solution? Everywhere we invite the tankers, only then we used to get. Whereas Honorable Prime Minister has launched Har Ghar Jal, Har Ghar Nal and Har Ghar Jal.
Yes, sir.
So how is it possible now?
Sir, this is actually where the project that we were working on becomes a very sustainable solution to solving the problem. We had actually started this project in Delhi and the slum areas of Delhi specifically to provide affordable and clean drinking water to slum dwellers. And the model we adopted was of community RO plants. Instead of having a tanker or a Ghar Ghar Yojana, in our tanker, it is irregular. In every household, it often leads to further groundwater depletion as well as higher maintenance costs. So what we did was we created a community RO plant through government funding or CSR funds. and provided water at 4 rupees for 20 liters, 4 rupees for 5 liters, as compared to 20 rupees or 30 rupees in the market for 5 liters. What this did was, one, it actually helped in replenishing groundwater because we created an entire circular economy model around it. Second is to run the RO plant. We got people from the community itself, actually 3 women entrepreneurs, to run the plant, which further created livelihood opportunities. And this model creates a very strong proof of concept for other slum areas which are increasing around Delhi and even in cities like Bombay to solve the water crisis and make sure there's available water.
But what is the reuse of that waste water out of RO? Because it is 60% that goes waste.
Yes, sir. So, sir, what we did was, given the government has increased the penetration of toilets under the Swachh Bharat mission, so we connected the RO plant to the community toilet areas, wherein the clean water, so the water can actually be made cleaner for non-potable purposes. So we started redirecting the wastewater to the toilets.
Which city has best distribution water distribution system in India? Drinking water or water supply system.
Sorry, sir, while I'm not.
Just read it. It's something. It's Chennai.
Okay.
Okay. My last question to you is.
Yes, sir.
Recently, just today, 2-3 days back, now that agreement between Hamas and Israel has taken place. What do you think that it will sustain?
Sir, firstly, I would like to say that this ceasefire is a very welcome step to end, or at least move in the direction of ending the war. Yes, there are concerns about sustainability because it's a graded plan of phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. As we see recently, even today as well, there has been an exchange of prisoners from both sides. So it shows that the phase 1 is working well. However, phase 2, which is the negotiation for complete ceasefire, needs the buy-in from both the countries, both Hamas and Israel, in the presence of the neutral Middle East.
But Hamas is a terrorist organization. Now, if it is a terrorist organization, if it is in Gaza, and new president of America has itself said that we don't want the terrorists, and we are getting the people from the terrorist group itself, that is from Hamas, so that they should be released to the Israelis, and they are releasing only the Palestinians. How this will work? Because tomorrow Hamas people will bombard the Hamas headquarters and everything, then how will it work? Will they agree in future?
So here, what is needed, a middle path to be able to solve the problem. While Hamas is a terrorist organization, will not be accepted as a credible government by most people or most countries, Hamas itself will also not want to leave complete power because it will lead to resurgence. So a mixed governance system with people from Hamas in a smaller proportion, as well as a more democratically elected government or a more stable government like a PLO that was established earlier, is something that can be explored for the temporary governance and rehabilitation of the country and rehabilitation of the people, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mudita, so what is the meaning of your name?
Ma'am, it means empathetic joy, which is getting happy in the happiness of others.
Okay, now tell me something about what is your weakness and strength?
Ma'am, my strength is that I have a very strong passion of working. That's the reason I have been working in my organization as well and continued to work across different sectors. However, one of my weaknesses, because of this passion, I tend to get over-excited or over-invested, and I end up compromising on my personal health at times.
Okay.
So, but I have been trying to balance both of them of late, ma'am.
Okay. So, it's impact on your health also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, how you manage?
Ma'am, actually, I started realizing this was a problem, especially during the COVID era. When work from home started, the lines between personal and professional life started blurring, which directly impacted my mental health. So to solve this, one, I started working out. So a very meticulous routine of yoga, cardio, and strength training. Second is, ma'am, for sure, I do meditation, guided meditation every day for 10 to 15 minutes before I start my day, ma'am.
Okay. So your option is sociology.
Yes, ma'am.
If we are talking about especially the social backwardness, especially in context of like, especially in our society, we can see that the condition of women is not now as good as we expect. Do you think so?
Yes, ma'am, I do agree with that statement that we would want women who represent 50% of the Indian population to be as empowered as men. But one, we see that the labor force participation rate is still 37% as compared to 77% for men. Second is that there is still a dual burden of work over women as compared to men who have to manage household and work, which often converts to wage disparity as well.
Okay, just one thing. As a civil servant, okay, and suppose that you are in the Ministry of Women and Child Development, okay. So what do you do after that? Do you have any plan to eradicate this type of issues or challenges which women facing right now?
Yes, ma'am. There are 3 priority areas in my mind. One is, I believe women need to be financially independent so that they can start solving a lot of other problems, including domestic violence, because otherwise they can't speak up. So investing in their human resource development through special dedicated education, both in terms of working as well as in the personal growth, is something that I would focus on. Second is, ma'am, nutrition. Because 50% of women continue to be anemic in India, which has impact not only on themselves but also on their children. So focusing there. And third is, ma'am, I would like to work on even further promoting SHEs so that models like Kadamshri can be replicated throughout the country, ma'am, which will help not only in their economic empowerment but also fuel India towards a Viksit Bharat.
Okay, so do you think so that National Commission for Women is really helpful for women? The purpose that which was established for that, so it's really working or not?
Ma'am, there have been certain achievements when it comes to the National Commission for Women, including the passage of POCSO
But
Act.
somehow we can see that positive and negative news also come across, especially in context of an NCW.
Yes, ma'am, there are challenges associated. Firstly, just the fact that it's still not a constitutional body but a statutory body does limit some of its enforcement powers. Second, ma'am, there is a long pendency of cases. As well as third, ma'am, the fact that NCW is still dominated by men in terms of their panelists often makes them less sensitive to the needs of the women. That is where certain...
So do you think so that especially in NCW, the panelists where should be women?
Ma'am, I believe there needs to be a mixed representation in the panel, which is actually representing the needs of the beneficiaries of the people who are coming there for support, ma'am.
Okay, as Mahakumbh ongoing, okay, so as we've seen that Mahakumbh, especially right now, it also represent as the platform of women empowerment. How can you elaborate this?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in my opinion, there are 3 things that I can think of right now. First, just the fact that Mahakumbh, which was originally a more masculine event with men going and taking a dive, has opened up to women also doing the same thing, with men not actually judging or restricting women.
Just a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm talking about the women empowerment. In Mahakumbh, we can see the women empowerment. My question is that I'm asking to you, but that just want to know that do you think so that exactly in Mahakumbh, women empowerment reflect in this? Do you think so? This is my question.
Yes, ma'am. And that is what I'm trying to say.
So you go beyond.
Okay.
Suppose that I'm talking about the women empowerment.
Yes, ma'am.
So how can we say that Mahakumbh right now it gives the platform to women to present their it's represent the women empowerment. This is my question.
Yes, ma'am. That is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So continue.
One is just the fact that women performing roles which were traditionally being performed by men, which is taking a dive in the river, is representative. Second, it also gives an opportunity for women entrepreneurs to come and represent their businesses, which is actually boosting the local economy. And third is, ma'am, the use of technology in Mahakumbh right now has firstly helped prevent violence or cases of any acts against women. And secondly, they can actually act as a benchmark for future surveillance in reducing violence, such as use of AI, drones, surveillance centers, etc., to further reduce crimes against women, ma'am.
Okay. So your hobby,
Yes,
now solo traveling.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So recently, have you visited any place?
Ma'am, the last place I could visit was Vietnam, which was before I started my preparation, that is 2023.
Okay.
But yes, ma'am, that's...
So right now we can see, especially in our textile industry, or we can say that Indians moves to Vietnam, and that became also, especially Southeast Asian countries, became the new destination or tourist spot for Indians. Okay. So do you think so this is not going in favor of India also?
Ma'am, the fact that ASEAN as a grouping has been able to capitalize better in terms of integration with global supply chains does show that India still has potential to explore. We still just contribute less than 2% of the global exports right now. And secondly, even for India and ASEAN, there is a trade deficit. There's a significant trade deficit. So it shows that there is more that we need to do. However, talking specifically about traveling to Vietnam, ma'am, I believe we are promoting multipolarity, not only in governance. But
okay, what you want to adopt from Vietnam? The best thing?
Ma'am, one thing that they do very well is they promote tourism in a very attractive way. So they've created small clusters of areas across the country which actually are specific tourist destinations. And they create an entire ecosystem of local and international entrepreneurs to make sure that the tourists have seamless travel, which in India is something that we have not planned as much, and that is why we see that tourism as a sector still contributes 9% of the Indian GDP, but has a long potential to be unlocked, ma'am.
Okay, my last question to you. As a solo traveler, so can I say that you are also a poet in you, a writer in you? That's why you are on solo traveling?
Ma'am, while I'm not, I do not write personally, but the reason I prefer doing solo traveling is it helps me engage with different communities. If you go with people, you end up being absorbed in yourself. If you travel solo, you become receptive to the small things that the local people are doing. And that is why I like to solo travel.
Okay. Thank you, Mudita.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yes, Mudita.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, sir.
All good. Okay. You're from Ludhiana.
Yes, sir.
What is Ludhiana famous for?
Sir, Ludhiana has historically been famous for textiles and hosiery.
Okay. Is it called Manchester of India?
It used to be called Manchester of India. Now the title has shifted to Ahmedabad though, sir.
Okay, perfect. Can you tell me, Mudita, what is feminism according to you? We have so many definitions of feminism. What is feminism according to you?
Sir, here can I borrow the statements of a very famous sociologist?
Yes, please.
A feminist sociologist says that feminism does not mean having more rights as others, but just reminding that females too are human beings. That resonates with me because the fact that women traditionally have been considered either inferior to men or have not been able to get the same opportunities as men shows that they have been considered second-class citizens. Just the fact that all citizens are equal is what feminism means to me.
Okay. So based on your specific views, you highlighted the fact that opportunities and specific capabilities of women.
Yes, sir.
One specific area where you feel women, if they are given more opportunity or increased capabilities, it will serve as a good indicator of positive feminism.
So while I believe women need opportunities across different domains, I believe political representation of women, especially the fact that India still has just 13% with female MPs, can be highly catalytic in representing Indian female population and making sure they are gender sensitive policy making. So
When we talk about political participation, is there any strong correlation as to having more representatives or more women representatives simultaneously correlated with increased empowerment of women? Do we have any relation like this?
So there has been evidence, especially at the Gram Panchayat level or the municipality level, where certain districts, certain villages such as Kishori Nagar, etc. have shown that where women are representative due to the 1/3 representation of women in Gram Panchayat, there the education outcomes, nutritional outcomes and waste management outcomes are much better as compared to just male-dominated fields. So.
But most of these panchayats are being run under the institution of Sarpanch Pati concept. So I think almost in most of the majority of the areas, majority of the Gram Panchayats are being run along these lines. So do you think it will be changing in coming future?
So that's a very valid problem, and this requires increased surveillance to identify if there are these patterns in all districts, and if there are, what are the ways to solve those problems, which requires a very active civil community. So having a civil community that speaks up either to the DC or the local state government is something that can go a long way to ending this problem. So.
But women themselves are not very empowered enough to have a voice in that particular scenario. So if we are doing surveillance, you are forcing those women to take part in that particular system. But the basic idea is the woman, it's a demand side issue. Women themselves are not considering themselves as capable enough and they are happy with the Sarpanch Pati concept.
So that's the problem of patriarchy, that 69% of the women have actually internalized patriarchy, for which the first point, that education and human resource development, right from the early age, needs to change that conditioning that women are not inferior or less capable as compared to men, but can take similar or maybe even stronger decisions when it comes to nutrition, education and empowerment.
Okay. So you've done your graduation in commerce and accountancy and economics. Okay. So can you tell us how do economic indicators correlate with social indicators?
Sir, economic and social indicators lately have become very intertwined, especially with the emergence of outcome budgeting. Just the fact that economic policies are now being tracked on social indicators such as how does that economic policy lead to improved health outcomes, increased women participation, multidimensional poverty index, shows that there is a high correlation between economic policies as well as social impact. So.
Okay. So you have done your graduation with economics as a subject, and
Yes,
then
sir.
you are working presently as a management consultant with a very good salary.
Yes, sir.
Why do you still want to join civil services, wherein you will be paid less than half as to what you are earning as of now?
Yes, sir. Sir, working at BCG and so closely with civil servants, I realized that as an external consultant, I can just keep recommending them what I believe is the best without firstly understanding the entire picture, and secondly without having the power to implement or see that change. So, and this belief actually increased in one of my recent projects that I was working in Maharashtra with an IAS officer. So that is why I realized that while I have monetary gains, the personal job satisfaction is not there. So there is still something that's missing that I believe civil services can complete.
Okay. What is the full form of BCG?
It's a Boston Consulting Group.
Do we have any other full forms for this particular abbreviation BCG?
So there is a vaccine,
Okay.
which actually India is one of the leading producers for BCG vaccine. However,
What is its full form?
sir, it's bacillus. I don't know
Bacillus?
P, and then T is bacillus. Sorry, sir, I can't.
What is it used for? Okay, no problem.
I'll have to read
Yes,
about it. Sir.
you are very much interested in analyzing Formula One race strategies.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any Formula One race tracks in India?
Yes, sir. The Buddha Circuit in Noida.
But is it functional as of now?
So the race track is functional. However, we do not have any Formula One races.
Why?
Sir, the last race we had was in 2013. However, there were certain tax disputes between FIA, the government, and the organizing group, which was the JP group. And so, second, there were challenges in terms of reducing viewership and leading cost of viewing or organizing a race. That's why it was discontinued. And recently, because Formula One has gained worldwide popularity, so there are multiple other competing countries that are also emerging with these racetracks, because of which Formula One has still not returned to India. So,
Who is your favorite person in Formula One racing?
Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Why?
Sir, he's a 7-time world champion and one of the best and high integrity drivers. Because while they can be great drivers, they often compromise on safety and take certain rash decisions. Sir Lewis has continued to maintain that poise while also winning races. Sir.
Okay. In terms of position of leadership, you have mentioned co-founder of PTAL, dying UNESCO listed Thatera Craft. What is Thatera Craft?
Yes, sir. So, sir, Thatera Craft is a handicrafts community in Jandiala Guru. It's a small town near Amritsar, who hammer these brass plates with hand and fire into utensils. So if you would have observed these large parades and other big utensils in Gurdwaras or during your childhood, that is what the Thatera craft form had originally started under the reign of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. This started with a family of 500 craftsmen. However, with increasing mechanization, it dwindled to the last 30 craftsmen. So that's why we decided to work with the community.
So what specific aspects did you do here to revive this craft?
Yes, sir. So while there were multiple elements involved, there are 4 big themes that we picked up. One was mobilization of the craftsmen, so that something similar to a cooperative or an SHG, so that they have increased bargaining power. Second is innovation and redesign, because a lot of these products do not have as much utility in the present day. So we changed them to fit to the contemporary needs of the society. Third is stronger market linkages through multimodality, including websites as well as physical retail shops. And so fourth is increased use of technology to not only market and demand their products, but also to showcase them on international platforms, thus targeting the export market. So.
Okay. So my last question to you, Mudita, considering you have a very good knowledge about economics and you are associated into working in a social sphere also, how do you think you can contribute better to civil services?
Sir, I believe I bring 3 unique skills which are required for a civil servant. One is having worked with multiple types of industries and multiple types of clients. I have the generalist bent of mind while also understanding how the private sector works, which the government has been trying to promote through the PPP models. So second is communication. Having again worked with different types of stakeholders with different priorities, I've been able to build that consensus, which I believe is very important for a civil servant, and a lot of them take time to do so. And so third is adaptation to change. Because of change, so in BCG, with every project, my leadership, city, client, everything changes rapidly, which often affects the emotional well-being of a civil servant and might impact the quality of their work in their initial years of service. I believe I already have gone through that learning phase and it might get easier for me. Sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mudita.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Mudita.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, briefly tell me about geography of Punjab.
Yes, sir. So Punjab though I came to know now, originally is the city of five rivers. However, after the partition of India and Pakistan, 3 main rivers, Ravi, Satluj, Beas, flow through it. So second is it has shivaliks in the upper part of Punjab. Third, from a soil perspective, it is high in it has the increased prominence of alluvial soil, which is actually very fertile for cultivation of crops. And so fourth is from a proximity perspective, it shares borders with Pakistan but does not have any direct sea linkages. So.
Okay. Since your optional is sociology,
Yes, sir.
what is your observation of the changing pattern in society of Punjab? Do you think it is slowly becoming very violent society? Because the kind of songs we see, rap culture, hip hop culture, it is mostly prevalent in that area. We see lots of violence in these songs also.
Sir, I would say there are both positive and negative changes in the sociology or in the societal dynamics of Punjab. Talking about the negatives like you were referring to, one is the fact that there is increasing drug usage and drug menace, which has one of the peripheral reasons is rap songs, but multiple other co-reasons as well. So second is religious extremism, which has become more prevalent in Punjab as of late. It started after 1980s, but has now become more active. And so third is increasing incidences against women, especially in terms of abandoned wives or the NRI wives. However, sir, Punjab has taken positive steps as well. One is, if we just talk about education in Punjab, it is actually Moses one of the strongest states in the country. Second is sex ratio. While it is still below the national average, it has improved over time from 873 to 903 based on recent census. And so third is just the fact that there is reducing caste divide in Punjab, though there are other factors which are playing, but that's also happening. So,
Don't you think it is also due to capitalism in India, which we adopted from 1991?
Sir, Punjab unfortunately has been one of those states which has not been able to exploit the complete potential of 1991 reforms. It has been an agrarian state historically. And that is the reason we see limited industry in Punjab in the recent times. However, over years, the government has started taking dedicated steps as well, so to improve the situation.
Okay. Why society in Punjab is so much connected internationally? Any unique reason?
Sir, there are 3 big reasons. One is the historical context of Punjab. During the 1980 emergency, a lot of families actually migrated out of Punjab, who had their roots here but decided to shift outside. That's why we see there is a strong correlation between Punjabis and NRIs outside. So second is education and employment. In Punjab, the unemployment rates are higher as compared to the national averages. It's almost at 6.5% when India had an unemployment rate of 3%. That is what started pushing the youth outside, especially to countries like Canada and UK. And so third is just the fact, however, that Punjab is such an open state to accepting cultures and create that melting pot, that we see different fusions emerging out of the Punjabi culture, which becomes very attractive to the global community, such as Diljit Sir's songs, etc.
Okay, tell me, do you think the work of Talcott Parsons is an extension of Max Weber work?
So, Talcott Parsons has tried to find a middle ground between the positivists and the interpretivists through his structural functionalism, which says that while a social actor takes social actions, there are societal constraints as well which influence their personal decision making. So, the fact that there are pattern variables which impact the society as a large, but also the decision making at an individual level, show that he's tried to bridge that gap between two extremes. So,
we often, we hear in news, and by the way, that is true also. Punjab is one of the state which is facing huge financial difficulties. Why it is so? Because, until like 20-25 years ago, it was one of the richest state. क्या हो गया 20 साल में? What happened?
So there are three big reasons because of which Punjab faces this problem of a 47% debt to GDSP ratio. First is freebies without beneficiary tracking. So there are blanket freebies without seeing if they're reaching the right beneficiary, such as free power subsidy or electricity for all households. So second is Punjab being a border state going through drug menace as well. There is an additional cost of expenditure that needs to be incurred for reducing its impact. And that is the reason we also see that the government just a few days back requested additional 600 crores from the center to set up fast-track codes for drugs. And the third is Punjab being an agrarian economy traditionally and not using the 1991 reforms like I was talking about earlier. The fact that there could be a more catalytic manufacturing and industrial base was something that never happened, thus limiting the revenue sources for Punjab because agriculture is not taxed in India. So that just reduced the tax revenue as well. So,
don't you think the division of Punjab in Haryana and Punjab, because Haryana has benefited a lot, don't you think Punjab has lost due to this also? Because you observe Haryana, North Haryana is basically hub of a small engineering industry. Jagadri, Yamunanagar, Jind and everything. South is basically logistic. Don't you think Punjab has lost due to division?
Yes, so that's an additional factor which is impacted. However, there could have been a better capitalization of opportunities as well. But I agree that's another reason. So.
Okay. So you have written here Change Maker Award. Tell me one change which you have done in your personal life, which we can at least feel something to learn.
So one change that I've made in my personal life is increasing the focus on my mental and spiritual health. So the fact that it's all just hard work and studies and you can achieve anything you want is something that I have.
Okay, good. Last question. Why your home cadre is not Punjab? You have not chosen any specific reason?
Sir, it was a difficult decision, but I also believe that entering a state with a more fresh perspective can actually help me bring fresher ideas as compared to staying in my comfort zone and maybe being clouded in my judgment. because of any historical or personal reasons. So
Okay, thank you.
thank you so much.